Hello and welcome back everybody to another World of Warcraft gold farming video. So in this video we're going to be doing another dice farm, and this time we're going to be farming the Worn Troll dice. This item usually sells for about 10,000 up to about 15,000 gold on some servers. However, be sure to check your auction house prices for this item to see if it's worth doing for you. Also, I do want to remind you that since we're going to be pickpocketing mobs, you will need a rogue to do this. If you don't have a rogue, I highly recommend leveling 1. It's very profitable, this farm. It only takes about 2 or 3 days to level up to level 100 with heirlooms. And you don't even necessarily have to get to 100, you can get to 80 and that should be fine. But there are actually multiple areas where you can farm this in Northrend. There are about 3 or 4. However, I found Skorn in the Howling Fjord to be the best place to farm, as the mob density is a little bit higher than some of the other ones. So the route is very simple. Just basically go to Skorn, and the first thing you'll notice is that there are a bunch of mobs there. Basically all you want to do is run around to the nearest mob, pickpocket that, and then just move on and keep doing that until you run out of mobs. So once you finish pickpocketing all of the mobs on the ground, you can either hop onto another server to reset the pickpocket thing, and then you can pickpocket them again. Or you can go to one of the 4 towers in the village. I think there are about 4 of them. So on these towers there are about 5 to 10 very densely packed mages. Now the issue with these guys is sometimes they do aggro on you. However, it's not too much of an issue. If you are level 100, most of the time they'll just miss you and you would remain in stealth. And you can even carry on pickpocketing once you're in combat. So once you've pickpocketed all of the mages on the towers, you can just head back to the ground and continue your route. So there are a few things that you might want to pick up before doing this. There are 2 glyphs. There is the glyph of pickpocket, which increases the range of your pickpocket ability by 5 yards. And then there's the glyph of picklock, which makes picklock instant. There's also a macro, which is very useful. I'll leave it in the description. So basically all it does is pickpocket the nearest mob, and it also casts burst of speed. So burst of speed is a talent that I highly recommend picking up. So with this macro, all you have to do is just go to the nearest mob, pickpocket the mob, and then it will automatically cast burst of speed. So you can essentially just spam this macro and it will do everything for you. You'll also be getting a bunch of reinforced junk boxes, and these have a very rare chance of dropping transmog items. So I usually use the TSM add-on to find out how valuable these greens are. You can also use the Undermine Journal add-on or the Undermine Journal website. Also, I realized that although there is very low competition, it can be annoying because you can't really tell if the mobs have already been pickpocketed or not. So what I do recommend doing is just using the Cross Realm Assist add-on just to hop onto other servers every once in a while. So since this is an RNG based farm, I don't really have a gold breakdown. Instead, I've done some statistics. So I can pickpocket around 1,584 mobs within an hour, and I think the drop chance is somewhere in between 0.2 and 0.4. I haven't found a definite answer on that, but it's definitely within that range. So if the drop chance is at 0.2%, within an hour, if you can pickpocket the same amount of mobs as me, or around the same mobs as me, then you have about a 95.8% chance of getting at least 1 item per hour, and at 0.4%, you have a 99.8% chance of getting at least 1 of these items per hour. So that's a very high chance of getting at least 1. So usually you're looking at about 2 or 3 if you're lucky of these Worn Troll dices. You can of course get more or less, really depends on your luck. But on the lower end, if you only get 1, then it's about 10,000 gold. Of course you can make none, but that's very unlikely. And on the upper end, it's about 45,000 gold, basically 15,000 gold, which is the high average times by 3, basically, if you get 3. So as for my final thoughts on this farm, since it's rogue only, the market is much less saturated than some other farms. So if you do have a rogue, I highly recommend doing this farm or another dice farm, which I have made a video about before, and I'll leave an annotation on the screen somewhere for that. So you can check that out if you want. But for rogues, this is definitely one of the best ways of making gold. I guess that's the end of this video, guys. Like and favorite if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me in the future. Until next time, guys, bye!